There is a subtle difference between implantation bleeding and period bleeding. Do you want to know if you're pregnant? Stay with me. Most of us confuse implantation bleeding and period bleeding. So let me give you the difference. Let's talk about what implantation is, how it happens, why it happens, and how not to confuse it with period bleeding. So implantation is when the embryo attaches itself onto the uterine walls. So the embryo moves from the fallopian tubes, then it comes down the uterus, because that is where it is even going to be anyway. Babies grow into the uterus unless it's a complication. So what happens is the embryo moves from the fallopian tubes, it comes onto the uterine walls and scratches for itself a bit to be into the walls properly, to attach there and start forming placenta, things like that, and everything that it's supposed to get. So by this happening, that is when we get cramps and bleeding. When the embryo is trying to attach itself into the uterus, we are going to get a little of bleeding, which usually comes as spotting, unless you're a heavy bleeder. That is when it is going to be like blood for between 1 and 2 days. So the cramps only and only happen because there is something attaching into your uterus. Imagine something has to enter your skin. Exactly, you're going to get some little pain and some discomfort. So what happens with a period is different from what happens with implantation bleeding. So this is where the confusion comes from. Usually, because we have cramps and bleeding in both implantation bleeding and period bleeding, most of us confuse the two. But there is a difference that is not just slight, but a huge difference. With our period, we have like blood coming for, let's say, between 2 to 5 days, and it is a bit darker and it has clots. So you really can't confuse it with the implantation bleeding that comes with just a bit of spots and light blood. Then we both have cramps for that too. The cramps in implantation bleeding only happen because there is something that is attaching itself into the uterine walls. So you're going to have a lot of discomfort, but it's going to last you 1 to 2 days. For period cramps, I tell you, these can be heavy, and they take from the day you start to the day you end. People are different, you never know. Some people even cramp after or cramp before, but that is how it happens. But for implantation, it never takes that long. So implantation is something we should never miss out on, because it is a first sign of pregnancy. So for people that don't want to get pregnant, or for people that are planning to get pregnant, let's watch out on these signs of implantation. For more content like this, please subscribe and follow us on our socials.